Well, hello once again. Even though I'm on sabbatical from YouTube, still working on major projects, I said that anytime something oddball came up that I thought I should share with you, I will do so. And this is an item that's been around for a while. It is an oddball item. It's been around for a while. I restored an Atwater Kent Model 37 for my son, well, a couple of years ago now, I guess. And this is the speaker that came with it. He didn't want the speaker. It's a Rola speaker from 1928, I'm sorry. It's a Model 30, and it's called a Dynamic Power Speaker, Model 30. Made in, let me get my glasses here now, Oakland, California. How about that? Anyway, the cloth is really getting tattered. Just sitting out in the shed covered up, you can see what's happening to it. So I'm going to change. This is really thin crap. We're going to get rid of it. Put some nice cloth in there. And we're going to clean it up, make it look real good. But I don't know if anybody who watches this channel, other than the old timers, have even seen a Rola speaker. Just looks like a radio in cathedral style. Has a switch on the side. It's just a amplified speaker. It has a switch on it. Which side has the switch? There it is back there. You have to flip the switch on and then hook up your two wires. You plug it into the wall and you hook up the two wires to the radio that you're using it with, and it does a good job. It does function. It does function. However, the work that was done on it previously is not what I call top quality work. So we're going to go ahead and, not everyone can spend the time and the energy and the money like I can and other people can to take something like this and make it, much better. Some folks, they just don't have the time. A lot of times they don't have the know-how or the tools and equipment, things like that. I do. Fortunately, it's taken me years to accumulate it, but we finally have enough to do just about every job. There's maybe one or two pieces of test equipment out there I could probably still use, but anyway, let's take a look at the inside. I've already removed it, and it's sitting in the rear back here. So let's get rid of this cabinet and see what it looks like. Well, unfortunately, the speaker turned out not to be in the greatest shape, but most of the damage, or it's just dried up surround. Look at that, you just touch it and it flakes right off. I got a big pile of it down here. Just touch it, it just comes right off, which is actually kind of neat, because I'll be able to replace the surround without a problem. It does have one big giant crack, and I think I can go ahead and repair that and then remove this felt around here and then put my surround on, and that should solve that problem. It does go in, it has a little bit of rub. The reason it has a rub is because the speaker is off center now, because the surround is not holding it dead center like it's supposed to. I'll have to shim it up, and by shimming I mean I'll have to put very thin strips of paper or something of that nature, a manila folder here and here and here, and keep the speaker away from that voice coil down there. You can hear it, listen to it rub here. Okay, the idea here is to get it lifted up. I think if I lift it up and then push it, it'd be a lot quieter. Still a little noisy, but it rubs a little bit, but we'll go ahead and see what we can do with that. Let's take a look at the back side. Well, here's what she looks like. Believe it or not, this is your audio output transformer. Look at the size of that sucker. And these are the two wires that lead into it, and they have a couple of metal ends on them that you would stick into the connectors or some way into the radio that you're working on, you're using, that you want to use with this. Everything else seems to look okay. It's got quite a bit of rust, but that's to be anticipated. Remember, this is the speaker that sat in a hidden room for 75 years on top of the Atwater Kent 37, and I'll put on the screen which video covers that. This here this is the selenium rectifier, or some kind of rectifier. I don't know if it's selenium or not, but it's one of the older style. Remember, this is from 1928, so you're not going to have anything that used modern stuff, so I'm not sure what that is. I have to look it up. I'm kind of curious, but the person that had this radio last disconnected the wires from it and put a I think it looks like down inside there they put a a solid state diode down there. I have to tear it apart. We're going to tear this thing completely apart. This is the power transformer that runs the whole thing. And this was your rectifier. And of course this is your voice coil. I mean your electromagnetic coil. Your you know, I just hate it when I do videos and I get a total loss of field coil. That's what it is, field coil. Anyway, sometimes words just don't spew out like they used to. So anyway, let's go ahead and tear this baby apart. Now, I'm not going to disassemble any of this crap here. It's functional. I don't want to damage it. I'm just going to try to remove as much rust as I can, tape it off, repair the speaker as best I can. I'm debating whether to leave this on there. It's been disconnected. It's kind of cool, actually. It's not hurting anything by sitting there, so I'll probably leave it. And I'll have to put some notes down in here, so later on, after I'm long gone, some guy will know what I did to it and what was done previously. But look at there, it's a little ceramic strain relief, I guess is what you would call it. That's kind of neat. I've never seen a ceramic strain relief going into the power transformer. 1927. I'll tell you what, this booger is heavy. It weighs a ton. And this is your power cord that goes into it. Just plug it in the wall. 1928. That's amazing. That is totally, I think it's 1928. It might be 1927. It's one or the other. Model 30. You can look it up. Well, that's it for now. I thought I'd just kind of titillate you a little bit. Next week we'll have another video update out on the shop and on the garden for those of you who keep up with my videos. Until next time, this is John. Well, as usual, I have one more little anecdote to add. This is the inside of the cabinet. I should have showed it to you earlier. It's in pretty good shape. Nothing wrong with it. There's a few chips and bangs and bumps on the cabinet itself. But, you know, it probably sat in that room for 75 years untouched and didn't have a single blemish to it. But then after a while, you know, it went from one person I know, maybe to a second, till finally wound up at mine spot here. Some of the veneer is chipping off a little bit. I saved all of that. And over here on the side, which side was it? I think it's this one over here. Yeah, right here. There's a little bit of missing veneer, but that came off and I saved it also. It just sort of peeled up and was sticking up in the air. So we have a little bit of repair to do to this thing. I'm not going to refinish it or anything. At least I don't think so. Anyway, but the new this backer board here is loose. I got to get that thing out of there so I can affix a new cloth to it, not only to the front, but I need a new cloth on the back also. We're going to get something that looks fairly close to that, I hope. Anyway, that's it for sure this time.